4 years at Stanford, I've had the pleasure of taking classes in communication, computer science, linguistics, history, English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Arabic, education, philosophy. Shall I go on? I'm in an interdisciplinary major called Science, Technology, and Society, or STS. Basically, STS studies the influence that science and technology have on the world and how the world has an influence on science and technology. I concentrate in media and communication, so I spend a lot of time thinking about the ways that media shape our perception of reality. Now that's definitely an oversimplified way of talking about it, so if you'd like more details, check out the link in the description. For example, I took a communications class on the politics of algorithms. Whoa, daddy. In that class, I wrote my midterm paper on the differences between governments mining civilian data and companies mining civilian data. Or, according to John Oliver, the difference between the government seeing your dick pic versus, like, Target.
Can they see my dick?
I argued that because the government's motives are to surveil their population in a biopolitical, panopticon-ish, 1984 Big Brother kind of way, whereas Target just wants to be able to try to sell me baby formula if they can figure out that I'm pregnant, which I'm not, before someone goes spreading another rumor about my personal life on the internet. We have a lot more to be worried about with governments than we do with companies. Well, one of my favorite things about STS is how classes from seemingly disparate disciplines can talk to each other. Because in computers, ethics, and public policy, a computer science class, we learned about PRISM, a partnership program between the US government and huge corporations like Facebook, Google, and Apple to, you guessed it, share your personal data. Later in that class, I had to write a recommendation to the US government about whether or not I believed Edward Snowden deserved a federal pardon for spewing thousands of federal documents from the NSA into the public in 2013, including the slides that detailed the PRISM operation. This talking between classes happens all the time in STS. Okay, so for example, last spring I took an English class called Data and Knowledge in the Humanities. We spent a lot of time pondering questions like, what is information and what is knowledge? And by a lot of time, I mean hardly any time given the magnitude of such inquiries. I decided to write my final paper on a new paradigm of knowledge production, enabled by the computational abilities of Cold War era supercomputers and necessitated by dire political demands. It was a dope paper. Probably the best I've written at Stanford. I ain't gonna lie. And you'll never guess who helped me write it. My TA in a totally separate history class that I just happened to be taking that quarter because he had written his thesis on military simulations. And this, by the way, was the history class where I was learning to use the archives. For one assignment, we had to use a cookbook from 1888 when Grover Cleveland was the president of the United States and North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Idaho, and Washington were all not states. And all those skills that I learned in the university archives, how to call up materials, how to review them in a library, I applied them a year later in a video art class when I wanted to use archival footage from the 1970s. And if I had to name one thing, that's what I like most about my classes at Stanford. I get to take courses in subjects that make me think in totally different ways, so I end up drawing really awesome, non-obvious connections. And after a while of that, your brain just gets stronger. Now, if you're watching this video within a week of it being posted, you're in luck. Today is day 1 of the 7 days of CiC Scavenger Hunt. We're counting down to the premiere of season 2 of Cath in College Senior Year, a weekly web series where you can join me and my friends in the crazy ride that is the Stanford experience. Today's clue is, in my video, A Day in the Life at Stanford, what topic do I present on in my Women in Engineering class? Think you got the answer? Then go ahead and enter the prize drawing by following the links in the description. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video in the 7 days of CiC countdown. Subscribing is one easy way to make sure you don't miss it. And if you like this video, thumbs it up. Or don't. It's your life. Muito obrigada for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Well, actually, you'll see me.